Hello, everybody. My name is Kiki, and welcome to our very first early morning storage closet session. It is currently 9:30 in the morning. I just got back from the gym, and today I'm going to talk about something that I think is really stupid, and that is the discourse around Playboi Carti collaborating with Kendrick Lamar. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I did not know that people really took this like that serious. I didn't know that people really cared about this that much. I thought this was just some Twitter stuff. And it wasn't until I watched Culture United last night. Shout out to Culture United. Shout out to everybody on the panel and stuff like that. Y'all all dope. I love y'all. Okay, I fuck with every single one of y'all, I think. Um I don't got any ill will towards any particular person or any particular side because I think that it's all stupid. I think that the whole thing is stupid. So if you don't know, uh Kendrick Lamar was on Playboi Carti's album Music and he was on 3 songs. And I think that this discourse had to have been, I think that this is a OVO psyop. I think that the OVO fans is trying to get people that actually like hip hop to fight with each other over stupid stuff. I think that how this started, well, okay, this is just an assumption. Okay, this is a conspiracy theory. I think that this started because OVO fans on Twitter were like, wow, isn't it so hypocritical that Kendrick just called Drake a deadbeat dad and said he hated him because he's a deadbeat dad, which is not what happened. But now he's collaborating with a deadbeat dad. Look how hypocritical your king of hip hop, King Kendrick God Lamar is being at this time, but he didn't like Drake. I think it's stupid, okay? And then I think that the other side was people that like Kendrick, that are fans of Kendrick, but don't like Playboi Carti and his brand of music, and were upset that Kendrick validated Carti. And so then there was those people who were like, really? You're gonna collaborate with this deadbeat dad? So I think it was like two sides of the same coin in a sense, okay? Um People that who just like don't really like critically engage with hip hop in any like in any good faith sense. I think that then Anthony Fantano gave validity to this entire argument by making his video about Cardi collaborating with Kendrick. I like Fantano. I don't have no problem with Fantano. You know, I'm about to say something that I think is probably gonna be, I don't know if it's controversial or not, because I feel like a lot of people hate Fantano. But this is what I will say about Fantano that I really like about him is that even when his opinions are fucking horrible, he stands on them. I fuck with that. I fuck with the fact that he really do stand by his horrible opinions. So you know what? Shout out to Fantano. I fuck with him. If y'all don't fuck with him, that's totally fine. I don't care. Okay. So then Culture United last night. People was bringing this topic came up, this topic of like what do you think about Kendrick collaborating with Cardi and stuff like that. So it seems like Fantano's side is Kendrick is a hypocrite and I feel like I should be allowed to criticize him. And then the other side, which was it almost seemed like it became Fantano and FD versus Curtis and Moni, and then everybody else was just kind of like standing silently while everybody was fighting. So I'm not even gonna say that they were fighting. That's not a fair analysis, but it almost did kind of feel like Fantano was getting jumped. I'm gonna be honest. It kind of felt like he was getting jumped. Then the it seemed like the Moni Curtis side was Kendrick has said that he is a hypocrite, but and then also like he's a Christian man being like Jesus. You want to help these people that make these mistakes and encourage them to do better, and you work with them and blah 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 blah, right? And I honestly, there was a something that Monie said that I was going to actually make a different video that was not this one, where I was going to make this same point, where in Meet the Grams, Kendrick says you lied about the only artist that could offer you some help. So he was in a sense being like, listen, Drake, I deal with people that fuck up all the time, and I could have helped you. Like, I help these people out of, I try to help people. I try to be a good man and try to, I had a fucking rapist on my album, bro. You don't think I would have been a friend to you and tried to help you out of a dark place? I see that, okay? I see that. Be like Christ or whatever. Christ, he hung out with prostitutes. He let prostitutes wash his feet. He beat on tax collectors. He probably did crack one time. He definitely drank wine. So, Jesus is Jesus. Be like Jesus. The reason why I think this whole discourse is stupid is because it almost seems like on the Fantano side, it's like, why are we doing this now? Like, he done collaborated with Dre, who beat on a woman. He done collaborated with Kodak Black, who was a whole ass convicted rapist. He collaborated with gang members who probably kill people. And this was the line, was Playboi Carti, who did beat on his pregnant girlfriend. Okay, that's the thing that he did that he's being criticized for in this instance. And also, it's like, why is Kendrick getting more heat for collaborating with Carti when Carti is not getting as much heat for doing the thing? And I feel like I know why that is. It's because you can actually attempt to hold Kendrick accountable, but Playboi Carti has like no emotions or anything like that. So it's like he's not gonna give a fuck if you criticize him. On the other side, on the Monie side, it's like, it almost feels like, yes, Kendrick has said that he's a hypocrite. He said he's not your savior, but it's also like, it almost feels like that's like an excuse to make it like, oh, well, we can't criticize him because he already said these things. That doesn't, Kendrick is not immune to being criticized. I think that people are allowed to criticize anybody for whatever reason they want. I like Monie too, by the way. Shout out to Monie. Shout out to the cousins. I hope y'all beautiful and stuff like that. Stay black and beautiful. But I feel like that's almost like an excuse that Kendrick fans are using to say that he cannot be criticized because he's already called himself all the bad things. I don't agree with that. Because, like, listen, we live in a world where people are more and more becoming informed consumers. People more and more want to be informed consumers. I think that people are allowed to criticize anybody for whatever reason they want to. And I think that people should, whatever their morals are allowed to listen or not listen to people's music for whatever reason they want, right? That's totally fair. I think that Fantano should be allowed to criticize anybody for whatever moral reasons he has, but I also feel like the criticism is stupid and the discourse is unnecessary. The discourse is just stupid. The whole thing is stupid because it's just like, look, I'm gonna be hella honest with y'all. The music is not even good enough to incite this discourse. That's why I feel like it's a psyop. It's like, bruh, the music is fucking trash anyway. Why are we acting like if we should be criticizing Kendrick for anything right now, it should be for the fact that the music was fucking bad. The music was bad. Smashing all the hoes, Mojo Jojo. We play that motherfucking fire, we go loco. We go dummy.